Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Yosi Riska Ramanda Putri. I'm from Diploma 3 Management. My student ID is 21132900002 and my lecturer is Mr. Budiantoro. Today I want to present about privacy, ethics, and social media. First, introduction. The use of social media is growing at a rapid pace and the 21st century could be described as the boom period for social networking. The Smart Insight report indicates that the number of social media users is growing by 9% annually, and this trend is estimated to continue. Then, technical use of social media has resulted in the breach of individual privacy and impact on both physical and information security. Reports in 2019 reveal that persons between the age 8 and 11 years spend an average 13.5 hours weekly online, and 18% of this age group are actively engaged on social media. Those between age 12 and 15 spend on average 20.5 hours online, and 69% of this group are active social media users, while children and teenagers represent the largest internet user groups. For the most part, they don't know how to protect their personal information on the web and are the most vulnerable to cyber crimes related to breaches of information privacy. Next, second, privacy. Privacy is defined as the right to be left alone, to be free from secret surveillance or unwanted disclosure of personal data or information by government, corporation, or individual. In this capture, will be defined privacy loosely as the right to control access to personal information. Supports of privacy posit that is a necessity for human dignity and individuality, and a key element in the quest for happiness, according to Richard and Soloff. Legal scholar William Prosser argued that privacy can be classified into 4 related, namely 1. Intrusion, 2. Privacy fact, 3. False light, 4. Appropriation. In May 2019, the General Data Protection Region currently outlined that it is unlawful to process personal data without the consent of the individual or subject. It is a legal requirement under the GDPR that privacy notice be given to individuals that outline how their personal data will be processed and the conditions that must be met that make the consent valid. These are 1. Freely given to specific and informed, 3. Explicit and ambiguous, 4. Under 13-second arguments can be made that privacy is a cultural, universal necessity for harmonious relationships among human beings and creates the boundaries for engagement and disengagement. Privacy can also be viewed as instrumental good because it is a requirement for the development of certain kinds of human relationships, intimate intimacy, and trust. Third, social media. The concept of social networking predates the internet and mass communication, as people are said to be social creatures who, when working in groups, can achieve result in a value greater than the sum of its part. Social media sites can be described as online service that allow users to create profiles which are public, semi-public, or both. Today, social media has proven to be one of the most, if not the most effective medium for the dissemination of information to various audiences. Fourth, privacy and social media. Social media and the information or digital era have redefined privacy. In today's information technology configured societies where there is continuous monitoring, privacy has taken on a new meaning. Technologies such as closed-circuit cameras or CCTV are prevalent in public space or in some private space, including our work and home. Personal computers and devices such as our smartphone enable with global positioning system or GPS. Privacy on social networking sites is heavily depend on the user of this network because sharing information is the primary way of participating in social communities. Privacy in SNSS is multifaceted. Users of this platform are responsible for protecting their information from third-party data collection and managing their personal profile. Today, social networks are becoming the platform of choice for hackers and other perpetrators of antisocial behavior. This media offer large volumes of data or information ranging from an individual's date of birth, place of residence, place of work or business, to information about family and other personal activities. 5. Ethics and social media. Ethics can be loosely defined as the right thing to do, or it can be described as the moral philosophy of an individual or group and usually reflect what the individual or group feels as good or bad. In the domain of social media, some of the ethical questions that must be contemplated and ultimately answered are: first, can this post be regarded as oversharing? Second, has the information in this post been distorted in any way? Third, what impact will this post have on others? As previously mentioned, users within the age 8 until 15 represent one of the large social media user groups. The young persons within the 8 until 15 age range are still learning how to interact with the people around them and are deciding on the moral values that they will embrace. These moral values will help to dictate how they will interact with the world around them. The ethical values that guide our interactions are usually formulated from some moral principle taught to us by someone or a group or individual, including parents, guardians, religious groups, and teachers, just to name a few. 6. Why do people share? According to Berger and Milkman, there are 5 main reasons why users are compelled to share content online, whether it is every detail or what they deem as highlight of their lives. These are cause-related, personal connection to content, to feel more involved in the world, to define who they are, to inform and entertain. People generally share because they believe that what they are sharing is important. Figure 1. Below sums up the findings of Berger and Milkman, which show that the main reason people feel the need to share content on the varying social media platform is that the content relates to what is demand as worldly cause 84% of respondents highlight this as the primary motivation for sharing. 78% said they share because they feel a personal connection to the content, while 69 and 68% respectively said the content either made them feel more involved with the work or helped them to define who they were. 49% share because of the entertainment or information value of the content. A more in-depth look at each reason for sharing follows. 7. Content related to a cause. Social media has provided a platform for people to share their thoughts and express concerns with others for what they regret as a worldly cause. Cause-related posts are depend on the interests of the individual. Some persons might share posts related to cause and issues happening in society. In one example, the parents of a baby with an aggressive form of leukemia, who having been told that their child had only 3 months to live unless a suitable donor for a blood stem cell transplant could be found, made an appeal on social media. 8. Content with a personal connection. When social media users feel a personal connection to their content, they are more inclined to share the content within their social circles. This is true of information regarding family and personal activities. Content created by user also invokes a deep feeling of connection as it allows the user to tell their stories, and it is natural to want the world or at least friends to know of the achievement. This natural need to share content is not new, as humans have been doing this in some form or the other, starting with oral history to the media of the day, social media. 9. Content that makes them feel more involved in the world. Of one of the driving factors what push users to share content is the need to feel more in tune with the world around them. This desire is many times fueled by jealousy. Many social media users are jealous when their friends' content gets more attention than their own, and so there is a lot of pressure to maintain one's personal in social circles, even when the information is unrealistic, as long as it gets as much attention as possible. Everything has to be perfect. Social media platforms have provide everyone with a forum to express views, but as a whole, conversations are more polarized, tribal, and hostile. And content that defines who they are, establishing one's individuality in society can be challenging for some person because not everyone wants to fit in. Some individual will do all they can to stand out and be noticed. Social media provides the avenue for exposure, and many individuals will seek to leverage the media to stand out of the crowd and not just be a fish in the school. Today, many young people are currently being brought up in a culture that defines people by their presence on social media, where in previous generation, persons were taught to define themselves by their career choice. 11. Content that informs and entertains. The equations of knowledge and skill is a vital part of human survival, and social media has made this process much easier. It is not uncommon to hear persons realizing that they need a circular knowledge set that they don't possess. Say, I need to learn to do this. I will just YouTube it. Learning and adapting to change in as short as possible time is vital in today's society, and social media coupled with the internet put it all at the fingertips. 12. Ethical challenges with social media use. The use of modern day technologies has brought several benefits. Social media is not different, and chief amongst its benefit is the ability to stay connected easily and quickly, as well as build relationship with people with similar interests. As with all technology, there are several challenges that can make the use of social media off-putting and unpleasant. Another technical challenge users of social media often encounter is that they have no way of authentic, authenticating content before sharing, which becomes problematic when the content paints people or establishing establishments negatively, even if the content is not altered. The fact that the content paints some or something in a bad light should send off warning bells as to whether or not it is right to share the content, which is the underlying principle of technical behavior. 13. Conflicting views. Some of the challenges experienced by social media posts are a result of a lack of understanding and sometimes a lack of respect for the varying ethical and moral standpoints of the people involved. We have established that it is typical for a person to post to social media sites without any thought as to how it can affect other persons. But many times these posts are a cause of conflict because of a difference of opinion that may exist and the effect the post may have. 14. Impact on personal development. In this age of sharing, many young persons spend a vast amount of time on social media checking the activities of their friends as well as posting on their own activities so their friends are aware of what they are up to. Apart from interfering with their academic progress, time spent on the sports can have long-term repercussions. 15. Conclusion. The unethical 15th 15 conclusion. The 15 conclusion. The unethical use of social media has implications for privacy and can result in security breaches, but physically and virtually, the use of social media can also result in the loss of privacy as many users are required to provide information that they will not divulge otherwise. Social media use can reveal information that can result in privacy breaches if not managed properly by user. The use of social media should be governed by moral and ethical principles that can be applied universally and result in harmonious relationship regardless of race, culture, religious persuasion, and social status. The largest user groups of social media are unaware of the process that are required to reduce the level of vulnerability of their personal data. Therefore, educating users of the risk of participating in social media is the social responsibility of the social network platform. Adapting universally ethical behavior can mitigate the rise in the number of privacy breaches in the social networking space. This principle, if adhered to by users of social media and owners of this platform, could raise the awareness of unsuspecting users, reduce unethical interaction, and undesirable in, incident that could negatively affect privacy and by extension security in this domain. I think that's enough from me. That's all my presentation. Thanks for your attention and thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.